what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. I've got a couple of interesting stories for you guys today. We are now just 2 days out from the 2025 Dubai Pro. And with another day closer to the show comes a lot more updates of the guys competing in that show. We got a brand new update today from the mysterious Neckzilla, who has really been kind of the talk of the bodybuilding industry since he made his pro debut last year. But I think the main talk about Neckzilla has been, is he / when will he actually bring the condition? And we saw some promising updates from Neckzilla the other day. Today, however, this update with his coach, Francisco Espin, at 2 days out from the show. This one gave me a much different vibe than the update that we got a couple days ago, the most muscular in the really good goon lighting in the magic mirror. This update, again, at 2 days out, gives me that impression that we're going to see the same Neckzilla that we saw at last year's Dubai Pro. And I kind of wonder if it's like a thickness of his skin issue. Because if you look at his upper body in this update, he looks a lot smoother through the upper body than he looked in that magic mirror picture. If you look at his arms, you look at his delts, you look at his chest, it looks pretty smooth all throughout that upper body. But I think more importantly, the thing that he's known for is his crazy legs, his crazy quads specifically. And someone made a good point in the comment section of this post, how in both this update and the last update, he posed in a lighting that kind of cast a shadow on his lower body. And you can see his lower body a little bit more now. But I think it looks to have the same issue that it had last year, which is, he does have crazy, insanely big legs for sure, but they're almost too big, and they almost have the look of they're just big and nothing else. Like, you can see some separation, you can see some lines in this video, but you don't see deep cuts in the quads. You don't see deep cuts from the side. You can see kind of faintly, and again, maybe that was strategic with the way that the lighting is, to where it kind of shows the lower body in a darker light. Maybe he's not in shape in the lower body, but you're not seeing those really deep splits in the quads. It's just like he looks really pumped and really full throughout the quads, but they just don't have that crazy level of separation. So when he's on stage, yes, he might have the biggest legs, but it really doesn't mean anything if they're not detailed, if they're not separated. And I feel like that's kind of what we're getting a glimpse of here in this update. This, to me, does not make me feel like we're going to see an evolution, the next level of Neckzilla in 2 days. Again, this is 2 days out. I believe in yesterday's video where I made my predictions for this weekend's show, I think I said Neckzilla in 4th or 5th. I think I'm still going to stick with that. Maybe more likely 5th than 4th, especially after seeing this update, because I kind of had a feeling those magic mirror pictures where he's hitting the most muscular and he looks really crazy, I had a feeling a lot of that could have just been the lighting in the magic mirror itself. And looking at him here in different lighting, I think that probably was the case. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you think that Neckzilla still has a shot at winning this show or being top 3? Or do you think it's more likely he's going to be in 4th or 5th? I think after seeing this update, I'm sticking with that 4th or 5th range. Now, you can kind of take the Neckzilla update in contrast to this update. We got another new update from Nathan Asha today, 2 days out. So talking about lighting, like when you looked at Neckzilla's, the most muscular picture, and even the video that we just looked at, it's like that kind of shadowy gym, darker down lighting that kind of casts shadows on your physique and kind of enhances the detail in some cases. Whereas like what Nathan's doing here in what looks like in front of like an open gym door, it's good lighting, it's natural lighting, but his whole physique is lit evenly. It's not the same as like what we saw from Neckzilla, where it's like that shadow casting type of down lighting. And look how much detail you can see on Nathan's physique without that shadow cast down lighting. I think if you saw that same most muscular shot from Neckzilla in this type of lighting, I don't think it would look nearly as impressive as it did in the magic mirror type of lighting, or I don't think it would look nearly as impressive as Nathan's does here. Because Nathan is in the type of condition where it comes across in any lighting. I just don't think that's the case with Neckzilla. Now, next up in the news, I wanted to show you a guy that we haven't talked about yet. He's also doing the Dubai Pro. I'm not super familiar with him, but I saw this physique update from him a couple days ago, and I was really impressed, particularly with the most muscular. So Ali Edward Cargbo. I believe his first name is Edward, though, Edward Cargbo, but his Instagram handle is Ali Edward Cargbo. This most muscular is just gnarly. Crazy cannonball delts, crazy round arms, crazy chest. His quads are huge. And like I said about Neckzilla, this guy has really big quads, but you can see deep separation in the quad. I don't feel like we're even seeing this level of separation from Neckzilla at 2 days out. And you look at him from the side, again, crazy chest, crazy delts, crazy arms. I think this guy could have a shot at being first call out for sure. He looks really good. You talk about just a crazy round 3D upper body. I mean, look at his traps too. His traps are like, this guy's gigantic. Just an insane upper body on this guy. And I believe in this update, he's weighing 110 kilos, so roughly 242 pounds. I'm not sure how tall he is relative to that weight, but he's pretty impressive. I'm not super familiar with his contest history. I don't know if he's done any bigger shows against like names like we've got here. So I'm not super certain how he's going to do, but maybe this could be a breakout show for him. Honestly, I'm equally as impressed with his most muscular here as what we saw from Neckzilla the other day. Maybe even more so. And by the way, Rough Diesel messaged me yesterday, and he was saying, because we talked about in yesterday's video kind of the timeline of the Dubai Pro on Sunday, he was saying the way they do it in Dubai is prejudging and finals are kind of just the same thing. They're not really separated. It just goes straight from prejudging straight into finals. So that start time of 4 p.m., which will be about 8 a.m. Eastern time in the States for open bodybuilding, that's going to start essentially the whole thing. It's not prejudging or finals. Well, I guess it is kind of prejudging, but they're essentially the same show. They're not like separated there, according to Rough Diesel. So it's essentially going to go straight from prejudging into finals is what I understand. Now, next up in the news, there's also going to be another pro bodybuilding show happening the same day as the Dubai Pro, which is kind of odd. I don't know why they do it that way, and it doesn't happen very often where you have two open bodybuilding shows on the same day. But this actually looks to be a pretty decent lineup. You've got several good guys in here. Unfortunately, I think it's going to get kind of overshadowed by this weekend's Dubai Pro. But this could end up being around the same time as the Dubai show. So Dubai is 8 hours ahead of Eastern time, and Beijing, China is 12 hours ahead of Eastern time. So they might be happening, at least parts of them, at the same time on Sunday the 22nd. And it looks like, according to their website, they're going to be starting at 2 p.m., or I guess 1 p.m. their time. And that's going to be when they start their prejudging. And it looks like there will be a separation between prejudging and finals for the pros, because it looks like the finals will start at 6 p.m. their time. So if I convert that here, so 6 p.m. in Beijing, would literally be like 6 a.m. our time, Eastern time. Oh, yeah, it's a 12-hour difference, of course. What am I talking about? And I believe we calculated that Dubai, it was 4 p.m. their time, around 8 a.m. our time. So they probably will overlap. It's either going to be a very late night for me Saturday night or a very early morning Sunday morning. Or probably, I guess, both. And yeah, that would mean that they're prejudging. If that starts at 1 p.m. their time, that would be starting at 1 a.m. Eastern time. So it might just turn out that this show ends slightly before Dubai. But anyway, I'm going to try to go through this list. I took a quick glance at it. I'm probably going to struggle with some of these names, so maybe I'm just going to point out some of the standout names for me in this lineup, or at least some of the ones that I recognize. Lewis Breed, for sure. That's definitely a standout for me in this lineup. Anthony Gell, we just saw compete recently. Andrea Musi, that's a good one. Andrea Presti, also in this lineup. You got both Musi and Presti. Joan Pradells, Florian Porson, we just saw him compete recently. I'm trying to go through some of these other names here. I'm going to say that Andrea Presti is probably one of the biggest standouts for me. He's been to the Olympia, 2023, I believe it was. Yeah, 2023 Olympia, he placed 12th. That same year, he won the Mr. Big Evolution. He was second at the M Pro Classic, sixth in the Romanian Muscle Fest. Then he competed a bunch of times in 2024, a lot of top 2 placings. Second at the Tsunami Pro to Samson Dauda. That was a big one. Second at the Europa Pro. Second at the Pro Muscle Pro. I believe that was the Italy show. Fifth at the Big Man Weekend in Spain. Eighth at the Prague Pro. So for me, I would say Andrea Presti is probably the favorite in this lineup. And unless I'm missing somebody, he's the only one in this lineup, because that's kind of what I'm going by here. He's the only one in this lineup with the resume of having won a show to compete at the Olympia. I don't think anybody else on this list has been able to do that, unless I'm missing somebody. There's a lot of names on here, but I don't think anyone else on this list has won a show to then go compete at the Olympia. And I guess Joan Pradells, he could be kind of a wild card here. He's kind of a young up-and-comer. His most recent update from yesterday looked pretty impressive. I feel like he's still kind of finding his groove a little bit, though, as a pro, as a young pro, and still maybe has some time to put in. I think he is really impressive, and I think he'll likely be a first call-out guy here. Again, if I'm not missing anybody, because a lot of these names I'm not super familiar with. These are a lot of guys, probably local to this competition in Beijing. Like I said, Anthony Gell, we saw compete recently. Florian Porson, we saw compete recently. They'll probably be first call-out guys. They look pretty good. They were first call-out the shows they did. Andrea Presti, we just talked about him. Joan Pradells. I just think my pick to win this one is probably going to be Andrea Presti. And I just saw, by the way, Louis Breed's name was on this list. It has just recently been removed. He said that he registered for this show prior to his accident, and he will not be competing. So his name is now gone from the list, so he's not even in the mix anymore. So yeah, of those guys, I'd say maybe top 2, Andrea Presti and Joan Pradells maybe has a nice breakout show here. Maybe Florian for third. Yeah, I like those guys for top 3. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. We got a busy bodybuilding weekend this weekend. Let me know your predictions for the Dubai Pro and for the China, I guess it's just called the China Pro. And make sure you guys subscribe, because that's going to help out a lot. It looks like I am going to be pulling an all-nighter tomorrow night on Saturday night. So it looks like I'm just going to be drinking some coffee and staying up the whole night to cover these shows. So that'll be a blast, and I hope to see you guys there. So as always, I love you guys. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, click that bell notification icon if you have not already. And as always, I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Nick Strength and Power signing out. All right, guys, don't forget to click that like button and subscribe to this channel if you enjoy the content. Also, check out my Instagram at Nick Strength Power. My Facebook page, which is simply Nick Strength and Power. My secondary YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Vlogs, for vlogs and bonus content that you will not see on this channel. And consider subscribing to my third YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Pokemon, which is all things Pokemon and trading card games, completely unrelated to this channel. So if you're into that, give that one a look. And all links to merchandise and social media will be in the description box below. If you guys want a Nick Strength and Power t-shirt, that will be in the Shopify link below. Have a great day.